Christofferson here again with another First Listen review. And, this is the place where we babble about music that we love. At least I do a lot of babbling. So if you're in the mood for that, well, sit back and get ready, because I'm going to talk about Chris Slade and his project called the Chris Slade Timeline, and his new album, or their new album, I should say, called Timescape. In case none of you know who Chris Slade is, he's been around for 50 years doing this stuff. He started out playing for Tom Jones, actually. He had a shot to play with Elvis, and I was reading an interview where he said he kind of regretted turning that down, but he had the shot anyway, and he's played with Manfred Mann. I remember him from The Firm and AC/DC personally, but that's the main things I remember him from. So what this album is his band, where he just he has a few of these guys who none of these people in this band I am familiar with at all. So not sure how he knows them or what's going on in his career with them, but it's them playing new songs, original songs that they've written, and a lot of songs from his previous bands. And this album has a few new songs on it. It's a 2 CD project here, and originally wasn't going to do a review on this, and I say that every now and then, but sometimes after I listen to it I'm like, oh, I have to. And I'll tell you why I wasn't going to do one on this, because it's like two different CDs. It's almost like there's two different bands going on here. I did not care for the first CD that much. The second one, however, different story, and I'll tell you why. What I did and didn't like, I guess, about this one, because that's kind of what we do in these reviews. I generally don't like to do reviews about stuff I don't enjoy, but this one had some redeeming qualities. But I'll get the first part of it out of the way here. I remember Chris Slade mainly from AC/DC. I just remember that, seeing him when he joined the band. But I'll get to that in a minute. So first CD here, it kicks in with a song called Sundance, and I don't know what it is, but the production on this first CD sounds completely different than the second one. So I don't know what the deal is there. It sounded like the singing was a little off key. It sounded like the guitars were just a little bit, I don't know, just not good. They weren't I don't know, just the feel was wrong. Something was not happening right with it. And when the background vocals kicked in, they were way louder than the music. I don't know if I got a bad mix of this, or that's just the way these all are. I really don't know, but that kind of continued on through the whole thing. Some of the songs were okay. This had a weird mix of stuff. It's like some rock songs, some gospel sounding things going on. There's a song called Freedom Song, which that's another one that really suffered from the background vocals just being way too loud. And I'll be honest, the singing from, one of the singers sounds a little bit kind of like AC/DC, like Brian Johnson, and mainly just Brian Johnson. But the other guy, this guy has a really deep voice, and I don't know which one is which, but I didn't care for the singing on that with the deeper voice. A couple of the songs here that had the other guy singing, like Back for Vengeance, was a pretty cool, heavy song, but it's still the same thing. The production was just really, I don't know what was going on. And the drums, this is a drummer-based band. It's based around him, and the drums were not up front at all. I don't know. So that was a couple good songs. I'll say Sundance would have been a good song if it was performed a little better. We Will Survive was okay. Joybringer started getting a little bit weird. Living the Dream was okay. Freedom Song I didn't care for at all. Back with the Vengeance, good song. Questions is, I think that was an old Manfred Mann song. I don't know, I didn't care for that one too much. Time Flies was okay, and the song End of Eternity, which ends the first disc, I thought was probably the best one of the bunch. I actually enjoyed that one. And I will say, the musicianship, aside from the first part of Sundance, I don't know what was going on there, but the guitar playing is insanely good. Great performances. I mean, the band does really well. Solid drumming. When it's not buried in the mix, it was, all that was good. So that's some of the redeeming qualities there. Now we go on the CD too, and it was one of those moments where everything just got better. And it's not because they're all cover songs. It's just it was produced better, and mainly just they were just produced better. So on this CD we have The Razor's Edge, which I thought was a cool choice. It's not like a big hit for AC/DC, but That's right when I believe he joined the band, and that's where things started going for for AC/DC was with that one. And there's a song "Free," which is killer. That one was great. Their version of "Blinded by the Light" I thought was really good, and you could tell he tried really hard to enunciate on this one, if you guys know what I'm talking about, so it didn't sound confusing. Most people know what I mean by that. July Morning was cool. Then the kind of some weird choices for the end here. Some people I did read a couple of reviews on this one. They're complaining about the fact that he did Thunderstruck. I don't know, for me, that's what I remember the most, is that video and him in that video, and that was kind of like, he was like in that video a lot, and I just remember that being like the big, I don't want to say comeback, but it kind of was a little bit of a comeback for AC/DC at that point. The popularity rose again, let's put it that way, and he played in that song, so I understand that. Now, Big Gun was cool. Wouldn't have expected to hear that. Hell's Bells is one of my favorite AC/DC songs. I'm not going to complain about that, although he wasn't on the original recording of that one, and he wasn't on High Voltage either, but that's how they end it. And like I said, the performance production on that second CD is heavier, more rockin'. Most of the songs are pretty rockin' on that second CD, and it sounds more like a band, sounded more like unified. The mix was better. So I don't know what was going on with that first CD, but it was very distracting. It was all over the place. And so I guess my rundown would be, I'd have to give it like a 7 out of 10, because half the first disc was good and the second disc was all good. So, I give it like a 3/4 since there's 2 discs, but I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as I go here. So anyway, anybody has anything, as always, that they want to add, feel free. If you've heard this, tell me what you think of it. Is it just me, or is the mix just, really off on the first one? But anyway, like, share, subscribe, keep this music alive, because if you keep doing stuff like, maybe some originals that sounded like the production of the second disc, that probably would have been a cooler thing. So I don't know. He's, probably, I can't remember what his age is. I think 77, 78, something like that. So I don't know how much more of this he's going to do, but, I wouldn't mind hearing something else, maybe some other, maybe not the originals, I didn't care for them too much, but some of the other covers he did, because they ended up actually being pretty cool. And I don't usually like covers albums, so it's kind of funny that that's what I like the most on this one. But anyway, before I go on too long, we're just going to end it there, and until next time, we will see ya.